Alright, hello, welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to win the Spanish Civil War as the Anarchists. Pretty easy, just need to do it the right way. Right, to get started, with your focuses, you need to do the popular front. You don't really need to do much with your armies, but tend to hold this inner area, so just make sure you have your armies along there. Construction, whack out nothing but infantry equipment. And then with construction, build as many military factories as you can in Catalonia. Alright, so these are the texts that I'm picking. It doesn't really matter, I've just gone down what I usually go down, which is a doctrine, some industry, and some support weapons. And then we need to wait for the election to trigger. Right, so that focus is done. Now, it doesn't really matter which one you go down, but I prefer to go down this one, which is, you get 10 units out of it, instead of the 5, but they are less equipped and less trained. Alright, so the election is triggered. Now, it starts a power struggle, which we need to control and sort out. It's best if you just go down as a concession as the left as much as you can, you get more political power for it. With the intent of it is to stop the coup from happening that starts the Civil War for as long as you get down to here. And once you've done disband the army, it triggers anyway, but you are heavily advantaged. So the Garrisons, we have 3 ticks, that means we control it, but if there's 3 X's, that means the Nationalists control it when the war starts. It's probably best to just leave it for a while until you've started getting political power through concessions to the left. Alright, so our first concessions to the left is finished, as you can see. It's plus 20% extra political power per day. I'm just going to take that again. It adds another 37 days onto the military plot, which is good. That's what we need. Right, so it looks as though as the opposition, the Nationalists, is doing a political assassination, that will give us access to the political arrest decision, which is pretty cheap, and it adds 37 days onto the military plot. Right, so the Prime Minister or President, whatever his spin has been dismissed. We have a new one, which gives us an extra 5% political power gain, which is very nice, especially since it is very important in this very early stage of the game. Alright, so we can't do any more concessions to the left, so we will do a political arrest. Costs 10, and it gives us 25 in return. 37 days, adds 37 days to that as well. Let's take that. It's important you don't miss a single day with these, otherwise the Civil War could trigger before you disband the army. Alright, we have 44 political power left. We're going to challenge this garrison down here, keep some form of control over it. We'll have enough political power to move on once that's completed. And then we do it again. Alright, so the political arrest has occurred. We now only have one option, which is Reassign Disloyal leader. We'll have to take that. And we will also challenge this garrison down here for more control, which costs 20. There's 3 levels. If there's 1x, it'll cost 20 to return it to us. If it's 2x's, it'll cost 30, and then we'll have to do 20 again. And then if it's 3x's, it costs 40, and you have to do that 30 and the 21, so it costs progressively more. Alright, so we have 40 political power spare. We could challenge a garrison, but we should save it until the Reassign Disloyal leader is finished, and we can set another one off. And then if we have enough political power after that, then we can do the garrison. Alright, so we can imprison this guy. He's been doing speeches for the opposition. If we arrest him, they'll give us 25 political power. Costs 15 to start, adds 37 days to the mission, so we'll take this. And since we have more than 40 still, we'll challenge one of these northern garrisons. It's very important we take one of these. It makes it much easier to defeat the Nationalists. Alright, we'll take it again. We have 30 political power. We'll get 25 when this finishes, so we'll have plenty to continue after that. And that's finished. We do it one more time, we'll have full control of this garrison. Right, so we've imprisoned this guy, now we can do another political arrest. Right, so we're back to 40 political power. I will take this southern garrison now, just to make the front lines a little bit easier for us. Right, we can do that again. Alright, so we've done the political arrest, we'll reassign another Disloyal leader. Challenge this garrison again at the bottom. And then we'll challenge this one a little bit further north. And we'll do this one down south again, because they've taken it back partially. Do some more concessions to the left, get some extra political power. Right, this is it. The last one, 70 days. We have 91 days left on that. Once this is completed, I'll add 37. I think we have this in the bag. Challenge this garrison down south again because they took it again. Since we can afford it, I'm going to try and cut them up again by taking this one in the west. Right, so 75 days left until the plot happens. 28 days complete to disband the army. I'm going to be safe and just take secure leader loyalty again, and I'm going to challenge this garrison here one more time. Doesn't matter too much about the southern one now. Right, 50 days left on the plot. 5 days until that's completed. 5 days until we've secured more of this garrison again, and I think we're in a pretty good spot here. Pretty good spot. See what happens. And the war has kicked off. Right. We want to take the bottom focus, which will unlock the anarchist focus tree. And then we will take the left focus. Doesn't really matter which way we do it, but you know, it's just there like that. Right, so we can see by capturing certain garrisons, we've cut them up into 3 sections. Right, so the front lines have bogged down. It's going to be really hard to push now. But luckily, I managed to do a couple encirclements, one here, pretty large one here. All these guys are cut off anywhere. Can actually do another one there. So now we just need to just quickly kill these as fast as possible. Right, arm the people completed. Now we can push down into the maximum concession. That'll add 70 days to the crackdown, which will give us more time to defeat the nationalists. Whilst I have enough XP now to edit my divisions, I'm just going to make it my basic sort of 20 combat whip, infantry plus support artillery. Right, so the focus of the maximum concession is completed. I'm going to do seize for gold reserves. It gives us minus 5% consumer goods, which is just what you really need at this stage of the game. Oh, seize for gold reserves is done. Do not take Masters of Their Own Fate. That will start the civil war with the anarchists earlier. We should take, at this point, let's do shared burdens. That's another minus 3%. Alright, so that focus is done. We can switch onto this one now. It's another minus 3% consumer goods, which is excellent. Alright, so that focus is complete. We're going to move on to this one here, which is a 5% extra factory output, which is pretty good. We're going to need it because we're actually quite low on supplies right now. Right, so the crackdown's happening in 5 days. We haven't defeated the nationalists, but not to worry. We've sufficiently weakened them to the point where they are no match to us at all. So we just need to wait for this to trigger. 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. We should get a pretty decent sized rebellion. And there we go. Alright, Palace Spain also decided to have an uprising. Oh dear. Most of our army is trapped down there now. Alright, so since we have now had the uprising, we can use our saved up political power. First of all, we're going to go for Infantry Genius, which gives us 20% defense, 15% attack. It's going to be really helpful. And then we're also going to go for Army Offense Expert, which is another 10% for attack. Focus is complete. We can now move on to seize public transport. Alright, so now with seized public transport, we can move on to this one, which will give us 3% local population, which is very handy. We only have 20,000 left right now. Our focus is complete. We can move on to collectivization and the workers' control. Right, so quick editing note. Get rid of all of the resistance within Spain itself. You need to do Portuguese anarchism, regional defense, Council of Iberia, a new way of warfare, torch bearers tomorrow, and finally the inevitable counterblow. Right, so the Portuguese one, you'll need to conquer Portugal. That's pretty easy. Portugal are pretty weak, and then you annex them, get cores on them, and then the counterblow that allows you to get rid of all the resistance within your country. All you need is 2,000 equipment, I believe. I think it's 10 army experience and some 40 political power, and you can get rid of all your resistance. Alright, it's May 19th, 1938. We have won the Civil War as the Anarchists. If you enjoyed this video, I don't know, sub, like, whatever. See you next time.